Next up, I'm going to do a proclamation in recognition of Child Abuse Prevention Month. And we have two stellar organizations here today to accept this proclamation. For my next presentation, I'm really excited that we have Loving Way and Holton's Heroes that do great work to support the children and their families here with us to accept this proclamation. Whereas April is National Child Abuse Prevention Month, which recognizes the importance of families and communities working together to prevent child abuse and neglect. And whereas approximately 5 children die every day because of child abusers, and over 3.6 million cases of child abuse are reported every year. And whereas the City of West Hollywood commends organizations Loving Way and Holton's Heroes that are dedicated to preventing and ending child abuse. Loving Way is a nonprofit organization founded by the one and only Dawn McCoy. She is committed to fighting to end child abuse through advocacy, awareness, visibility, while bettering the lives of impacted children. Loving Way was named in honor of Dawn's son, Waylon, who's right over here, a brave survivor of child abuse suffered at 6 weeks old. The mission of Loving Way is focused on 3 central goals: heightening community awareness, providing much-needed resources to families of child abuse victims, and increasing the joy of survivors of childhood abuse and their families and caregivers. Holton's Heroes is an organization that serves the community by connecting children who have suffered a life-threatening post-birth brain injury with the necessary resources and support to enhance both physical and emotional development, along with an improved quality of life. Holton's Heroes was co-founded by Eric and Angela Weingrad, named after their own child, Holton, who suffered brain trauma. Holton's Heroes stands as an unwavering beacon for families grappling with the aftermath of brain injuries, assuring that they are never alone in this struggle. Whereas, in recognition of Child Abuse Prevention Month, the City of West Hollywood extends its gratitude to organizations like Loving Way and Holton's Heroes for their dedication to raising awareness about child abuse and fostering the physical and emotional welfare of children and families. Now, therefore, let it be resolved that the City Council of the City of West Hollywood hereby recognizes April as Child Abuse Prevention Month and extends its gratitude, and my personal gratitude, to Loving Way and Holton's Heroes for all that they do to support our families and children. Dawn and Loving Way and Eric and Angela, will you please come up and accept these proclamations?
Thank you very much for this honor of this proclamation and for bringing awareness to the children that Loving Way and our charity Holton's Heroes help. I just want to say my son was a victim of abuse at 11 weeks of age. Someone we trusted cracked his skull and caused him to stop breathing. And that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was when we went for help from the district attorney's office. They weren't able to prosecute for a litany of reasons. But then the real troubles began as we tried to struggle to get help. And because my family had good jobs and good education, we were penalized by making too much money. My son wasn't old enough, and the reasons began of why my son wasn't able to get the equipment he needed to thrive. So we started Holton's Heroes. We figured we would do the job that we feel government should do, which is supplying these children with necessary durable medical equipment like wheelchairs and gait trainers and ramps. Thank you. Before my son was injured, I produced television, and now I'm an advocate for families like mine. I changed my life around, and I say this not to brag, but to point out my own ignorance to the plight and the epidemic that families like ours face without the right equipment. And we hope that this can extend into the community so that we, Holton's Heroes, are not the only charity that does this around the whole country. And that every city can have a charity like Holton's Heroes that is backed by their government. And once again, I appreciate you guys shining a light on what we do. Thank you.